Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the last lecture of Chem 1211 for this semester. Wow, did this semester go quick? Good morning, everybody. All right, game plan for today. First of all, I'm going to go through and do some important announcements, reminders. Then I have calculated a way of showing you how many points you need on test 2 and the ACS final to get the grade you want. And then I'll finish with two things. I'll go over quiz 6 review, and then I'll cut it out of the video, but I'll give you a tour of a chemical plant, one that I worked in. All right, let's get going. All right, again, reminder, between now, today, which is the 7th of December, and by the 10th, you have to, well, you don't have to, but if you don't want to get 0 points, you have to take test 2 by the end of Saturday, 2 p.m. at the Glen Ellen COD Testing Center. You'll have 2 hours to complete it. Should take you about 60 minutes or less. You'll need a picture ID. Bring your calculator and a writing implement. Pencil and eraser would be good. It will cover all the material this semester. Last couple days, I have gone over that material, and you can also use your quizzes and test number 1 as practice problems. As I said, the test number 2 has 27 problems on 12 pages, 5 multiple choice. Some of the questions are multiple part. Here's the point breakdown. There'll be 10 bonus points. And don't forget, like all my quizzes and tests, please use proper significant figures for all calculated answers, and please use 3 significant figures for all atomic masses. All right, the other thing I put out yesterday was final exam information. The Chem 1211 final exam will be given at the COD Testing Center from Monday morning, the 12th of December, until the end of Wednesday when they close. You'll have to look up, I don't remember what time they close, on Wednesday the 14th. Please look at the following video for hints on taking the ACS final. This is a standardized ACS, is American Chemical Society, standardized timed multiple choice scan-run exam. It has 60 questions. You'll given 55 minutes to complete. It will cover all the material covered this semester in our Chem 1211 lectures. You'll need a number 2 pencil or a lead pencil that works on a Scantron card. I would highly recommend bring a good eraser. All right, listen carefully. Please do not mark or make any marks on the ACS final exam, like circle the letters. Do not do that. I reserve the right to subtract up to 25 points from your Chem 1211 point total for anyone who writes or makes marks in the final exam booklet. Now, I would recommend, if you do find any marks or writing in the booklet, and after you finish the final exam, please inform the testing center staff that you found marks or writing in the final exam booklet, and tell them, no, you didn't do it.
So we can like write on our pages or like.
What you will be given is scratch paper.
Okay, and then we can just write over there like the answers.
No, you know
Like,
what a Scantron problem
no.
test is?
No.
You know the card where you put you mark on a card.
Says like thanks for voting, like when you vote.
Now, hold on one second. Let me see if I can grab one. I think I have one. I'll be back in 60 seconds. I'm back. All right. Have you ever seen one of these, Anna?
No, but now I can see it.
All right. What you'll do is, I don't know if you can see it well. See how it
Mhm.
says one and it has
Yeah, and
A, B,
ABCD.
C, and D? You put a mark, say number one. I'm just picking one letter at random. Say it was C. You'll take a pencil. You'll fill in. So I filled in the C. Can you see that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's how you mark your answers. This is called, by the company that invented it, a Scantron card. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
Aren't you glad I answer questions? I am. All right, let's get back to the final exam reminder. Remember, you have to take it between next Monday morning and before the uh, testing center at COD closes on Wednesday. That gives you 3 whole days to take it. It's a time test. Now, one thing I should warn you, next week, I don't know how many classes are having the testing center give final exams. It might be quite busy. So allow more time where you might be waiting in line. That's just the way the chem department set it up online. This is the first time we've, since the pandemic, during the pandemic, when the testing center was closed, we gave our finals, our own finals, online. But now that they're open, COVID is way down, but still wear a mask. I do. Get your booster shot. And by the way, if you haven't gotten one, get a flu shot. I got both of mine. My flu shot, I think about a month and a half ago, and my third booster for COVID about, a month ago, maybe 2 weeks after I got my flu shot, or a week after I waited. But it's up to you, but I believe it helps. All right, let's continue. All right, so final exam next week. By Saturday this week, you should take test number 2. All right, now, as promised, let me move this out of the way. Let's go through how to calculate how many points you need to get the grade you want. What junk call am I getting now? 3 more rings. I apologize. Come on, voicemail, pick up. I think one more ring. Are you going to stop? Thank you. All right, let's go through this. And if you look at my syllabus, I have similar. Z equals the either 6 quizzes total or 4 quizzes, highest 4 quizzes plus test 1. And if you look on Blackboard, this number is already on there. Then you'll add your extra credit. And you'll get a number. If you did an extra credit, you'll get a number Z. Now, to get an A, the points needed for an A are 387 minus Z. And these are equal to points needed from test number 2 plus the final. And that will be a maximum would be 140 points if you got a perfect on both. All right, for a B, it's 344 minus Z equal the points needed from test 2 and the final. For a C, it's 301 minus Z for the points needed from test 2 and the final. And for a D, is I think it's 2. I don't think I calculated it properly. Hold on while I check this out.
Can you do maybe like based on the test 2 and final?
Is what?
Can you like calculate it based on the test 2 and final? Like how many points we need to have on test 2 and final to pass?
That's what it is. Well, the pass would be a C. I'll
Yeah,
show
but then I have to have 140 points on the test 2 and final to
you.
pass?
No, this is the max you could earn.
Okay, so
Forget about that number. All right, let's do an example. But first, let me open up a spreadsheet and
you can do on my grades, I don't care.
I hold on, and let me do one thing first. All right, 258. And for D, you need 258 minus Z. All right, let's assume, because I'm lazy, your 6 quizzes is your higher total. And each quiz is 50 points, and you did real well, and you got 300 points, okay? So let's assume Z for any student is equal to 300 points. To get an A, that would be 387 minus 300, which would be 87 points. So you need to get 87 points on test 2 and the final. Now, test 2 has 110 points maximum, and the final is 30 points. So if you got all perfect scores on the quizzes, you don't need, out of 140 points, you only need to get 87. Does that help understand how this works, Anna?
Yeah, that's much better.
Now, this calculation this way is based on the fact that you've handed in all the labs and you've gotten good scores. Now, if you have not handed in the labs, and I haven't graded them all, but hopefully by Friday afternoon, I'll have in Blackboard all the grades for your labs. It'll also show your lab total and your extra credit. And let's do the same thing. And you know something? Let me, so I don't confuse everybody, change this letter to X. All right. Now, X is now the sum of the 6 quizzes or the sum of the 4 quizzes in test 1. This number is in Blackboard, whichever is higher I use, your extra credit and your lab total, which is the highest 13 out of 14 labs. And that will be in Blackboard. And to get an A, you need 504 minus X. Those are the points needed on test 2 plus the final exam. To get a B, 448 minus X equals the points needed on test 2 and the final exam. To get a C, that would be 392 minus X equals the points needed. And to get a D, that would be 336 minus X. Again, this is base X is all the points, not counting test 2 or the final exam, which you haven't taken or I haven't graded yet. And like I said, I should have by Friday afternoon sometime, and I'll send out an email, all your extra credit and all your labs graded. Now, a couple important things. You have until next Wednesday, a week from today, Monday through next Wednesday, to take the ACS final. I will not get those scores until sometime Thursday. Realistically, hopefully by Saturday morning, I will guarantee by Sunday, 1 p.m., I'll have everything in Blackboard, your totals, your percentage, and your final grade. In what is it called? My Access COD or My COD Act, My Access COD, or where you get your official grade. I should have that in by Sunday or earlier, hopefully Saturday. I'm shooting for maybe even Friday, late Friday, when I get that all in Blackboard and My Access COD, I will send out an email. Now, it may take up to 24 hours or more for you to officially see it from My Access COD, how you see your grades, but the one I post in Blackboard will be the one I use in the official system so you can see your grade. When those are posted, I will send out an email. All right, now I do have a special announcement. I'll send out an email because of a change in Zoom. I will have to send out a new Zoom link for tonight's office hour. Next week's I'll hold office hours. Next week, finals week, there will be no Zoom meetings at all because it's final weeks, no classes or lab. And with that, are there any questions about what's going on at the end of the semester? All right, what I like to do now is go through quiz 6 review. We just had it, but I like to go through it again. You should know that a Bronsted-Lowry acid donates a proton. It's a proton donor. Proton is H+. You should know that a Bronsted-Lowry base is a proton acceptor. Give me a break. You get to hear my phone 3 more times. I refuse to answer junk calls. A lot of them, because this is near the end of the sign up for health insurance, are people trying to sell health insurance. All right, Bronsted-Lowry base, proton acceptor. You should know that these are acids, these are bases. And this is available in Blackboard under Chapter 6, Quiz 6 review. All right, now water undergoes a dissociation and the ionization constant, which is H3O times OH, is equal to 1 or 1.0 times 10 to the minus 14. And this is at 25 degrees C. Now, you should know acidic solution, the hydronium ion concentration is greater than or higher than the hydroxide. For a basic solution, hydroxide is higher than hydronium and is sometimes called alkaline. In a neutral solution, the hydroxide and hydronium, H3O plus, are equal. Now, pH was developed, the concept, because this, when you see actual concentrations, is not easy to use. pH is. And pH is defined as minus the log of the hydronium ion concentration. Now, in my class, if I will always give you H3O plus concentration is 1.0 times 10 to the minus X, and therefore the pH is X. Now, I'd highly recommend for the ACS that you look at your calculator, and it's pretty simple. You'll see one of the buttons, if I can find it, because I rarely use it. All right, why can't I find it? I'm looking, there's a button right here saying log. And if we're trying to find, instead of 1.0 times, say it's 2.0, let me turn on and clear it. And it would be to get the log of 2.0 times 10 to the minus fifth. And this you won't have to do for my test, but the ACS, they ask you to calculate pH. Let's do this. you're trying to find pH, you're given this. Remember, pH equal minus the log of the hydronium ion concentration. Now, when this is not 1.0, you actually have to use a calculator. So I'm going to take and do second key, or no, I don't have to do that. Let me clear log. And on here, you see log bracket. I'm going to do 2.0, second key, double E. Then don't forget to use this minus chart on the keypad, -5. Then there's a close bracket, and then I'll hit equal. And the number I get is a minus number. What I get when I just do the log, watch closely, this is important, minus 4.6989, which to one significant figure would be 5, but in real life is this. Now, -1 times -1 equals +1. So a minus times a minus equals 4.6989. So what you have to do is press the log button, put in the number correctly. Don't forget, for minus power, use this key, not the subtraction key over here. And then you'll get a negative number, and then you'll have to multiply it by -1. In other words, whatever number you get from the log calculation, put down the positive number of that. Now, you don't have to do that for my test, but the ACS may give you 1.0 or not. If they don't, you know how to handle it.
So do we put the 4.6989 back to the calculator, or that's the answer?
It would be minus, and you just forget about the minus.
So the answer is just 4.6989.
Right. Now, on the ACS, they're going to give you 4 choices. Now, actually, A, B, C, D, E, 5 choices. And the number you get, you'll have to look how many significant figures their choices are, and you may have to round that off. Like this, the 3 significant figures would be, if their answers are all 3 significant, 4.70, the 3 significant figures. So anyways, or 2 would be 4.7. So that's what you've got to look at. I don't do that. I will do 1.0 times 10 to the minus x. All right, you should know pH goes from 14, 0 to 14. At 7, it's neutral pH. Below 7, it's acidic. And above 7, it's basic. When you add an acid to a neutral solution, the pH drops because it's becoming more acidic. When you add a base to a pH neutral solution, or any solution really, it will increase. Buffers, remember, if they have a buffer solution, it will not change pH, or almost not at all.
I have actually a question about that's acid and bases from the first slide. So on one quiz, we had to actually put the formula for baking powder. So do we have any surprises on the test too like that, or no?
No, there won't be any surprises. I should have on this list.
Okay.
I think on the other one, I'll add it right now. You should know that's a base also, okay? Now, titrations at neutralization. Remember, if you use a pH indicator, if you see when something changes color, that means it's at neutralization with a pH indicator. You did a lab with that. Moles of acid equal moles of base, and milliliters of acid times molarity of acid equals milliliters of base times molarity of base. And that's how you do it. Now, I'm done almost. I have a special surprise I'll do in a little while, but I'll cut it out of the video. But hang around for it, you'll like it. But what I will tell you now is areas students had trouble with. 1, moles to molecules, molecules to mole conversion. Go back and look at the problem set. Look at test number 1. I have those on there. The other thing students had trouble at times, especially on test 1, moles to grams and grams to moles. Remember, 1 mole equals the atomic weight of an element. 1 mole equals the molecular weight of a compound. And you should know, and I've gone over this the last 2 days, you should know that the molecular weight is the sum of all atomic weights. Don't forget, review again how to do gas law problems, especially PV equal nRT. Also know how to do solution problems. If you have so many milliliters of a solution of a certain molarity, how many moles do you have? Students had problem on that on quiz 3. Also on quiz 3, or wait, no, that was quiz 4. I said quiz 3 was PV equal nRT gas problems. Quiz 4, solutions, another problem student had a lot of problems with, and I went through one yesterday, I believe, is how many grams of a solute do you have to use to make so many milliliters of a certain molarity solution? Again, how many milliliters of a certain mole, how many grams of a solute do you need to make so many milliliters of a certain molar solution? Look at quiz 4. No, I was right, 4. 4, gotta get this fixed someday. 4, and you'll see that problem. As I went through yesterday, a lot of you had problems with Chatelain's principle and a color. Look at yesterday's video. Also go back and look at test number 5, the questions I had there for Le Chatelain's principle. And I'd highly recommend you know how to calculate pH from hydronium ion concentration, and you know how to calculate pH from hydroxide ion concentration. That was on quiz 6. And most of you got that right. Yay. And don't forget on quiz 6, the titration problem. All right, now I got a special surprise for you. And what is that? We're going to go on a chemical plant tour. Unfortunately, if you're not here, I'm going to cut it out of the video. All right. And now I'm going to sign off. This is the last lecture of the semester and the last time I get to say Gehen gesund. Goodbye. Remember, Gehen gesund, be going health in Yiddish. And this I got from Granny of the Beverly Hillbillies.